AP Lang students, did you know that in 2024, nearly 69% of students didn't score in the high range on the AP Lang exam? And last year, nearly 59% didn't. That means those 4 and 5 scores are pretty challenging to achieve. But I'm going to help you get closer to those scores by showing you one paragraph that looks pretty good and then explain what I would notice as an AP reader and show you how I would fix it as an English professor.
So here's the paragraph. Social media puts pressure on teenagers because they care too much about what other people think. Many teenagers post pictures and wait to see how many likes they get. If they do not get enough likes, they may feel bad about themselves. This shows that social media can hurt teenagers because it makes them care about popularity. Now, I'm going to read this the way I would as an AP reader, and then I'm going to pause where I would start to worry. The first sentence gives me a direction. I understand that the student is writing about social media pressure, approval, and popularity. But when I get to care too much about what other people think, I would pause because that phrase is doing basically no work. It sounds familiar, but it doesn't really explain the pressure. Teenagers have always cared what other people think. That alone cannot be the argument. So, as an English professor, the question I would ask is, what has social media changed about approval? And that's where the real argument starts. Social media has made approval public. It has made it measurable, and it's turned attention into numbers that other people can see. So I would not write this. Social media puts pressure on teenagers because they care too much about what other people think. Instead, revise it into this. Social media platforms put pressure on teenagers by turning approval into something public and measurable. So this sentence is stronger because now the paragraph has a very specific problem to examine. We're not just talking about popularity in a vague or broad way. We're talking about likes, views, comments, follower counts, and public reaction. So let's keep reading the original paragraph. The next sentence says, many teenagers post pictures and wait to see how many likes they get. So again, I understand the example. I understand that the student is trying to show how social media approval works. But the sentence passes over the useful part too quickly. The useful part is not just that teenagers wait for likes. It's that the number can fluctuate or fall below what someone expected. So that's where the pressure actually appears. So you need to revise the example like this. When a teenager posts a photo and watches the likes rise slowly, stop early, or fall below what their friends usually get, approval becomes a public comparison. So now the paragraph has something to analyze. The student is not just waiting for likes. He or she is watching a public number rise, stall, or fall short. And that detail gives the paragraph material to work with. So let's go to the final sentence of the original paragraph. This shows that social media can hurt teenagers because it makes them care about popularity. So I already see that the paragraph has stopped too early. The sentence just repeats the original claim, and it doesn't explain why the example matters. So I would tell the student, don't tell me again that social media causes pressure. Show me how that pressure works. So you can replace that final sentence with this. The teenager is not just sharing a photo. They are watching other people publicly measure whether that photo was worth noticing. Over time, approval can feel less like a private feeling and more like a score everyone else can see. So now the paragraph is not just saying social media is harmful. It's explaining how the harm works. So here is the revised paragraph all together. This is a stronger AP Lang paragraph because it does three things. It makes the claim more precise, it makes the example more specific, and it explains the mechanism instead of just repeating the general idea. The first version says social media pressures teenagers because they care about likes. The revised version explains that social media turns approval into a public measurement and that this can make teenagers connect self-worth to visible reaction. And that is a different level of reasoning. If you found this example useful, I want you to know that this is exactly the kind of thinking I have built into my AP Lang survival guide. It's for students who know the basic advice but still need a system for actually building their essay. Stronger argument claims, evidence that does more work, line of reasoning, rhetorical analysis commentary, and multiple choice. And if you struggle with timed writing, download my 30-minute essay rescue kit. This one gives you thesis builders, paragraph templates, a 15-minute panic version, and a 10-minute checklist for writing under pressure. Both are linked in the caption and in my bio. Best of luck to you on the exam.